This story is from Storytime Character Building Stories for Children. Once upon a time, in the city of Rome lived a noble woman whose name was Cornelia. She lived more than 100 years before Jesus was born. Cornelia had two fine sons. The name of the eldest boy was Tiberius. The youngest boy's name was Caius. Their father, whose name was also Tiberius, was one of the leading men in Rome. When the boys were quite young, their father died. Their father's death was a terrible blow to Cornelia. She was brave as well as beautiful and cultured. In those days, the noble ladies of Rome were beautifully dressed and expensive jewels. Cornelia was not as rich as many of the ladies she knew, but she was a sensible woman. She was willingly went without jewels and expensive clothes. She would rather spend her money to educate her sons. She made up her mind that her sons should have the best education that Rome could give. She wanted them to become good, useful men. Cornelia had many friends. She enjoyed having her friends visit her. Even kings sat at her table. She was a charming host, and her friends were happy to come to her house and to be guests. Cornelia never talked about how sorry or hard it was to raise her sons without her husband to help her. Her wonderful cheerfulness and gentle courtesy made her greatly loved by everyone. One bright morning, a lady friend came to visit Cornelia. She was beautifully dressed. She wore lovely pearls and flashing diamonds. Cornelia was simply dressed in plain white robe. No rings or necklaces glittered on her fingers or about her neck. Instead of flashing jewels in her hair, her long, soft hair was gathered up in a brown braid and crowned her head. She took her friend for a walk among the flowers and trees in her beautiful garden. Cornelius' sons, Tiberius and Caius, were standing in the vine-covered summer house. They were looking at their mother and her friend. "Isn't our mother friend a handsome lady?" said Caius to Tiberius. "She looks like a queen. She is not half as beautiful as our mother," replied Tiberius, who was only 9 years older than his brother. She has a fine dress, but her face is not noble and kind like our mother is. It is our mother who is like a queen." "You're right," added the younger boys. No woman in Rome looks as much like a queen as does our mother. So Cornelia came down the garden path to speak to the boys. She looked into her son's proud eyes with a loving smile. "Boys," she said, "I have something to tell you." They bowed before her as Roman boys were taught to do. "What is it, mother?" they asked. "When you came home from school today, you are to dine with us here in the garden." Again they bowed politely, as if their mother was a real queen. Then they left the garden and went to school. While they were gone, Cornelius' friend opened a wonderful little box of jewels that she had bought. She wanted to show them to Cornelia. Carefully she picked up first one shining jewel and then another. She showed Cornelia the beautiful colors. She told of their great value. There was diamonds and pearls and rubies and many other kinds of gems. They were indeed beautiful, At last she looked at Cornelia and said, "Is it true, Cornelia? You have no jewels. Is it true, as I have heard, that you are too poor to own them?" Just then Tiberius and Gaius came in from school. "No, I'm not poor," answered the fond mother as she drew her two boys to her side. "Here are my jewels. They were worth more than all expensive gems you have shown me." Tiberius and Gaius grew up to be great men in Rome. They stood for what they knew was right. They tried to pass laws that would help the poor. Tiberius helped the common people to find comfortable homes. Gaius helped them to get able to buy enough food so they wouldn't go hungry. They both worked hard to make Rome a better place to live, and that's why the world still likes to hear the story of Cornelius' jewels. Think about it. What are some things that are more precious to you than money or jewels? Is it more fun to enjoy things you have, or to always be wanting something you don't have?
Find all our stories, go to YouTube and type Living Books for World Changers into the search bar. Click go, then select Living Books for World Changers and videos, and then all our stories are there. We upload new stories every Thursday, so please come back. We love reading stories for you. Come back and listen.